Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio. Halfway point of the week. College World Series still in full effect. Got some local representation up there in Omaha. Are the Razorbacks still in it?
They are, and in a very big way. Played Auburn last night, got off to an early lead, built on that lead, knocked Auburn out of the competition. Of course, this was a loser-go-home play. If Arkansas lost, they were going home. But it was Arkansas, the winner, 11-1 over Auburn. So the Auburn Tigers go back to the plains of eastern Alabama. They're out of it. And Arkansas stays in. Arkansas has one loss. That came to Ole Miss. Who do they play again tonight? Ole Miss. This will be the fifth time this year that Arkansas and Mississippi have played. Arkansas won 2 out of 3 in the regular season. Mississippi won the other night in the World Series. They're undefeated. So Mississippi can afford a loss here, but Arkansas cannot. Play tonight under the lights in Omaha. Very big game. Well, I'll tell you what, I really like the way the Razorbacks hit the ball. They're playing very well, but, Ole Miss is pretty doggone good, too. We'll see what happens. Should be a lot of fun.
It's going to come down to pitching like it always does, my dude. All right, so news came out yesterday that not all of the lawsuits against Deshaun Watson had been settled, but most of them had. I mean, it was close to all of them, but not all of them. Now, he's in Cleveland. Do you think the NFL is going to come down on him for anything?
Well, I don't think it. I know they will. But how hard is the question? You mentioned the fact that there were 24 lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. It's the same lawyer representing all these women, all of them. Now, 20 of them have been settled. There are 4 that are remaining to be settled. I'm quite sure they're going to be. It's a matter of paperwork more than anything else. So let's just assume that everything gets settled. The NFL, in their personal conduct policy, and that is part of the basic agreement, so that has to be exercised, says that they have the right to be handing out disciplinary measures against individuals who violated that. And evidently, Deshaun Watson has. How much of a penalty does he get? I think maybe later this week we'll find out something, but I'm looking for maybe a year or 2 years, and that's going to be significant because that's 2 more years off his life span in the NFL. He didn't play at all. 100
in the pro leagues, man.
Gosh, yes.
And you know what's crazy? They better do something because it wasn't too long ago that another player who was just accused of something, never tried, convicted, or settled, just accused of something, he set out for almost half of a damn season because of that. And that was just an accusation.
And in the case of Deshaun Watson, he has not admitted to anything either. He says he's perfectly innocent. All these are accusations, but they look like they're pretty well proven. And the fact that he did settle, you have to think that maybe there's some fire behind that smoke.
We'll see where the old commish heads at on this one. All right, so something else that happened in the NFL, at least announcement-wise yesterday, Gronkowski is going to retire for the second time. You think this is going to be the last time?
I do. Gronkowski last year when he came back with the Bay Bucks was good but not great. He's accustomed to being a great player. Toward the end of the year, he had slowed up considerably, and it was rather noticeable, and I think it's noticeable to him. This guy's taken a lot of beating. He's been in the NFL for 11 years, in college 4 years before that. He's taken a pretty good amount of licks, and a great player, still is, probably envisions a career as a broadcaster, a commercial person,
endorser
for some, not all. Some of those aren't very good at all. But over and above that, I think he says, nope, this is it. I'm not going to come back. So look for him to to be on the sidelines this year and not playing at all, and maybe doing commentating for one of the TV networks. That part of it I don't know, but he is going to retire, and I think this is it.
He might try a career as a WWE wrestler again. Who knows? Trying to figure out what your pro wrestler name would be if you did wrestle. What would you go by?
Wussface or something like that.
Wussface. Glassjaw Ned. That's what we'd call him. All right, so let's talk about baseball. Both Missouri teams played yesterday.
All 3. We had 3 wins yesterday. The Cardinals come away with a 6-2 win. Nolan Gorman had a couple of home runs. 4 of the Cardinals' 6 runs driven in by Nolan Gorman. Had a really big night. But the pitchers were the key. Jack Flaherty got the start, did not fare very well. Gave up 3 hits and 3 runs in the 3 innings that he pitched. But the rest of the pitchers, and there were 4 more, allowed Milwaukee 1 hit all the way through. That's very good. Milwaukee is not a great offensive team. They're a good team, but they're not great. So the Cardinals get a win 6-2. That's a very nice win. Royals and the Angels out in Los Angeles. Game goes 11 innings, and the Royals win by a score of 12-11. How about this? But there is more to this game. First of all, Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals, who had 2 home runs, called it the most fun he's ever had playing baseball. Back and forth. The guy who had the most fun, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels. His team loses and scored 11 runs and lost. That's not very good. Shohei Ohtani drives in 8 of those 11 runs with 2 monstrous home runs, one of which tied the game in the 9th inning. Shohei Ohtani becomes the first Japanese-born player in Major League Baseball history to drive in 8 runs or more. That's phenomenal. And he pitches tonight.
Dude, that guy. I mean,
he's a freak. Is what he is. You're not going to see this again.
No.
He's not only once in a generation. He may be once in a lifetime. This guy's not only a great Japanese star. He's a great star. Period. This guy can play the game, and he is worth every penny that anybody pays to buy a ticket. This guy's worth it.
Well, that's the way baseball players used to be, though. Way back in the day, you wouldn't be too crazy to see these guys that could hit like crazy and then go up on the mound the next day and strike everybody out. But that definitely doesn't happen very much anymore. But yeah, he is an OG, and that's why I love it. All right, let's switch gears here. The drama in the golf world continues. Anything that happened in that meeting yesterday?
Well, yes. In a sense, there was. Brooks Koepka has already made the announcement that he actually we'll hesitate on that a bit. Made the announcement that he's going to join this LIV Tour, and he said, "I won't join that LIV Tour until the very first day that I hit one off the tee in that LIV Tour, which could be this weekend." He did withdraw from the Travelers, which is this week's tournament in Cromwell, Connecticut. PGA had a meeting with all of their players, and this included the LIV players as well, and outlined new plans coming up, not for this year, but for next year and beyond. They're going to establish, or try to establish, 3 fall tournaments in which the purse will be $25 million apiece. That doesn't mean the winner gets that, but the whole purse will be that much, and that's more than they have in the past. The playoff championship, the winner gets $10 million out of that. We're talking about millions of dollars, folks, on the PGA Tour. They're establishing new protocol and so forth and so on, and new establishment for playing in the playoffs. Okay, that was all outlined for the players. The LIV Tour continues. I must admit to you, I don't have a dog in the hunt. If these guys want to go off and get some money, blood money as it were, I don't have any respect for them, but hey, that's their choice. They do play in the United States next weekend in Pumpkin Ridge. That's out in Portland, Oregon. They'll play in that. I'm really anxious to see, or interested to see, not so much the golf, but how many people turn out to watch it. The galleries for the PGA tournaments are big.
Oh, yeah.
Away.
Well, I think that's the goal of the LIV, to pay these guys, is to hopefully get that, and we'll see if it paid off, that investment.
That's the key right there. And
absolutely.
Whether or not these big-name golfers who they've got, and they do have some, not all, certainly, and there are many, including Rory McIlroy and some of the others who said, hey, we're here. Colin Morikawa, kid from University of California, he said, nope, I'm staying right here. This is my home. This is where I'm going to be. I'm not going anywhere else. And I like that attitude. That's fine. But in terms of how it's going to affect you as an individual, not at all. No. Still taking a nap watching golf regardless. Last but not least, right out of the gate, Colorado had Tampa Bay on the ropes. It was a must-win. They pulled it off. Now they're back in Florida. When does that game start tonight? Tonight. They played tonight in St. Petersburg. They'll face it off at 7 o'clock. This is a very big game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. If they fall behind now 3-1 and go back to Denver to play, that's going to be awfully, awfully rough to do. But over and above that, they're still a pretty good team. They are the 2-time defending Cup champions. They can play, and they certainly did take it to the Colorado Avalanche in their most recent game, which they won going away 6-2. So we'll see what happens. It'll be tonight. They face it off at 7 o'clock.
Good luck to either team, because like you said earlier, I don't have a dog in that hunt at all. Ned, you have a great day, and let's come up with a better wrestling name for tomorrow.